everybody. I am going to mute myself. So I'm glad that you're here. So what we're going to do, I made some predictions last year. We're going to see how I did. I'm going to tell you what my predictions are for 23. And then I've got a list of questions that folks have asked. I'm going to give you some stats. And if you have a question that you want to just throw out there, then you let me know, and Jenna is going to be monitoring that for questions. So let's dive in. Okay, so last year I predicted that housing demand would remain strong in 2022 through the third quarter, and I exceeded the expectations there because housing demand is still very, very, very strong even into the fourth quarter. I predicted that interest rates were going to be an issue, but I'm telling you, I missed that one. I did not predict how incredibly it would affect our market. So I told you last year that interest rates would not go crazy. I missed that one. I told you that inventory was going to remain an issue. That is still an issue, although it has improved. I'm going to give you those stats here in just a second. And then we would have a slowing in the rate of growth. And we have had a slight slowing in the rate of growth this year. But I'm going to give you some stats, and I'm going to show you that the sales prices are still up. So my predictions for 23. Housing inventory is going to remain tight in 2023. And that is going to have the effect of prices remaining probably where they are. I do not see a dramatic falling out of the market. There is so much demand right now, and we are not seeing the number of housing starts that we need to see in order to have a more balanced market as far as the number of properties available for purchase. I also think that interest rates are going to stabilize. In fact, I've seen in a couple of different publications that interest rates may have peaked. We'll see. The Fed keeps doing their thing, so we'll see how that affects the bond market and mortgage interest rates. But I kind of think that interest rates are going to settle down. I don't think that we are going to see that dramatic climb and then a dramatic fall. I think we're going to see a much more stable mortgage market. So those are my predictions for 2023. We'll meet here again in December of 23 and we'll see how I did. Okay, I'm going to give you some information now that I think is kind of interesting. We're going to do a year-over-year comparison. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, December 21, we had 100 active residential listings. I mean, our inventory was just so low. Right now, we've got about 225 active residential listings. So it's better. Our inventory levels are a lot better. In fact, one of my agents was out showing, and it's interesting because we have not had a lot of properties that we've been able to show in the last couple of years. And she actually was able to show like a dozen properties. So that is really helpful for our buyers, that there is just more opportunity. There's more availability out there in our market. Last year, in December of 21, we had a median list price on those active listings of $480,000. Right now, in December of 22, our median list price is about $460,000. That is interesting because the median list price has actually come down about 4% year over year. This is the one that we've been talking about. If you watch my market updates that we do every week, the big story in the last few weeks has been the number of pending properties, or the number of properties that are under contract. That has dropped dramatically in the last few weeks. So in December of 2021, we had 151 pending listings, pending transactions in our market. Right now we have 64, and that's actually up from where it has been in the last few weeks. So we've had a 57% drop in pending transactions. That's pretty significant. That's a pretty dramatic decrease in the number of properties that are under contract. I think that is going to continue to go up. There's usually a slowdown in this time of year, so I think that the pending numbers are going to continue to go up as we get into the first quarter of 23, and I think that they will remain strong. They'll get back to being strong, I should say, in 2023. Okay, on our sold side, at this time last year, if we look at a 6-month window, we had 534 sales in the previous 6 months. Right now, we're sitting at about 427. Now, I told you that the median list price had dropped. So last year in December of 21, our median sales price was about 345,000. Right now, our median sales price is about 387,500. So the median list price came down. The median sales price went up about 12%. 12% year over year increase in that median sales price. But last year, we only had like a month's supply of residential homes available on the market, and we are up to about a 3-month supply. So that is a far healthier place for us to be. Okay. We have questions that we get asked frequently. Some of these we've answered in some videos. Some of these questions just came in. If you have a question about our local market, about Cedar City, about anything that's going on in the area, let me know. And if you have a suggestion, if there's something you're curious about and you would like us to do a video on it, leave me a comment or send me a text and we will put you on the schedule. Okay, some frequently asked questions about our area. Number one, what is employment like in Cedar City? What kind of work can you find? Okay, we have a 2.4% unemployment rate. Basically, everybody who wishes to work is working. I had a client come in and her son came to town and he found 2 jobs in a week. So employment is really strong here. And what kind of work can you find? A lot of it is education. SUU has a lot of employees. The school district hires a lot of employees. There's a lot of people in healthcare and manufacturing. We have a really strong manufacturing sector. And also tourism. A lot of our economy is driven by tourism. We're going to have a video come out in the next couple of weeks where I talk to Maria Twitchell, who is in charge of our Visit Cedar City and Brian Head tourism department. And she gives some really, really interesting information about how, what the economic impact is of tourism on our area. So a lot of employment in tourism related industries as well. Okay, I got some really good questions here. Can you explain why you think the pendings have dropped so much? What are the leading factors? Interest rates. I think folks were so shocked when interest rates went up so fast that that it really knocked some people off center a little bit. I think that those interest rates are getting kind of baked into the market now, and people are sort of getting over their initial shock when they went up so fast, so high, and people were really reeling from it. If you look at the real estate market, there's really a lag between when buyers are looking at properties, putting a property under contract, and then closing on that property. So we kind of work in 30, 60, 90-day sort of increments when we're talking about that. So that drop in pendings that happened kind of in November was really when we hit the bottom. That's sort of lagging from maybe June, July, August, September, when people were looking and they just weren't comfortable with those interest rates and just sort of pumped the brakes a little bit. Like I say, I think that now that the interest rates are sort of stabilizing and getting baked into the market, I do think we're going to see those pendings continue to go up because people need a place to live. And folks want to be here. So thank you for that. That's awesome. Okay, Where do you see the opportunities for landlords looking to purchase multifamily versus single family? This is an awesome question, and I haven't done a ton of stuff as far as like videos and information for investors, but this is a huge passion of mine. If you are at all interested in becoming an investor in real estate, I want to sit down and talk to you. I think that real estate is one of the most amazing asset classes for building wealth, and it is attainable for just about everybody. So I love to talk about investing in real estate. So as far as opportunities for purchasing multifamily versus single family, that is a question that is best answered for each individual investor. There's lots of things to consider. And so if you wanted to sit down and we can kind of go over your strategy, what are your goals? Is cash flow more important? Is a tax deduction more important? Do you have a certain cash flow goal that you are trying to meet? So different types of properties, if you're talking about multifamily or single family, they've all got pros and some cons, and it really just depends on what your goals are as an investor. Now, I will tell you that one of the best strategies that I have seen, especially for first-time investors, is if you can purchase a single family up to a fourplex. So a single family, a duplex, triplex, up to a fourplex. If you live in it, you can get FHA financing. Okay, you can get 3.5% down. You have to occupy it for a year. You have to be an owner occupant. But that is one of the most incredible ways to start your investing journey. So I love that question. Thank you so much. I would love to talk to anybody who is interested in investing, in making that a part of their portfolio. I am a huge fan. I'm very passionate about it, as you can probably tell. Let's have a conversation. Thanks for that, Jesse. Okay, let's see. Do you see listing prices for new construction lots dropping or staying the same over the past 6 months or so? I think lots are probably not going to drop a ton. We still don't have a ton of lot inventory here locally. And I will tell you that there's been a number of developments that were like on the books, ready to go, and the developers pulled back. So until those developers get back into the market and give us some lots that we can sell, our lot inventory is kind of the same as the residential inventory. I don't see a huge drop in lot prices just because of demand. Now, I have seen a little bit of a price reduction on some, but again, until some of these developers decide to come back into the market and give us some more subdivisions and some more lots to sell, I think we're probably going to stay at a status quo from where we've been. So thank you for that. Okay, can you let us know what you think of the future for Cedar, growth, tourism, economy, building, etc.? I love this question. I am Team Cedar City all the way. All the way. I think the future for Cedar City is so bright. It is an amazing place to live. And I've said this before in some of the videos, we have been discovered. So we were growing at a rate that was, I'm going to say maybe average if you're looking at it on the scale. We have now been discovered, and there are so many people who really want to be here. The city is working hard on water, on infrastructure, on getting ordinances together that are going to address the growth that we are seeing. It is a real thing, and it is something that has to be sort of planned for and managed. The university has more students than ever. It's a huge draw to this area, and it just having the university here, I think, makes Cedar City, the town, the size of the town that we have access to so many more opportunities than a town this size without a university, without the national parks that we have access to. It's just, I am pro Cedar City. I am team Cedar City all the way. So I think that Cedar City's future is bright. Let me give you some stats on employment while I'm on this question. This is one of the questions that came through earlier. How fast is Cedar City growing? There was an article that was published in our local newspaper a couple months ago. It says that the fastest population growth of any micropolitan area from 2020 to 2021. And a micropolitan area, of course, is an area with fewer than 50,000 people. So the population in Cedar City right now is about 38,000. If you look at the larger area, Iron County, we're just under 50,000 in Iron County. But the fastest growing micropolitan area from 2020 to 2021, we had 27.2% employment growth from 2015 to 2000. We had 31.6% increase in average annual pay. That is a big deal. That's been sort of a sticking point in Cedar City, as our wages have historically been a little bit lower than we would like them to be, but I'm seeing that starting to change. 31.6% increase in average annual pay. 35.8% increase in gross domestic product. So we are producing more, which is great. We have a really diverse economy: education, healthcare, manufacturing, tourism, lots of stuff going on, lots of places for great employment. That was an awesome question. Thank you. If you are on, let me know where you are watching from. I would love to know where you guys are at. A gallon of gas here is $3.45. $3.45. I would like to know, what's gas in your area? Leave me a comment and let me know how much you guys are paying for a gallon of gas. Henderson, Nevada. We got a lot of folks coming from Vegas, Henderson area. I've sold a lot of properties from people who are moving here, and California, of course. Also, Florida, the Northwest. I've had a number of people from Oregon, Seattle, kind of suburbs of Seattle. Phoenix. I've had some folks coming up from Phoenix. So people are coming here from all different parts of the country, New Jersey and New York, just in the last few months. That's been kind of interesting. $3.95 for regular gas, for a gallon of gas in Henderson, Nevada. Yeah. Cost of living here. I did a cost of living video. If you didn't see that one, make sure you go check that out. It's got a lot of interesting comparisons to some places where people are moving from. I did a West Coast video, and then by special request, we did an East Coast and sort of the central part of the country. So that was kind of fun. All right. Boise, Idaho. That's right. I've had a couple of folks from Boise. There's a seafood place in Boise that when we were traveling up to Oregon to see some family, we stopped at this place twice because it was so good. So if you are ever traveling through Boise and you need a really good restaurant, I can hook you up. And gas is about $3.89 there. That's not bad. That's not bad. Let's see. Mentioned average home prices per square foot. Do you see home prices per square foot keeping in line with current rates? Okay, this question has to do with what is the price per square foot of these homes that are being sold, and is that going to kind of stay the same? Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? That is an interesting question. Just off the cuff, I'm going to say that price per square foot probably is not going to go up as fast as it did in the last couple of years. One of the drivers for price per square foot is new construction, of course. The new home starts that we're seeing, there's just not enough of them. And there's supply chain issues, there's labor issues. So if we can get our housing starts where they need to be, I can see that sort of affecting that price per square foot, making it go up just a little bit if more of our inventory is new construction. If we remain where we are with not a ton of new construction, then I think that price per square foot is going to track a lot more closely to where those sales prices are, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think that, and I'll keep track of that for you. I haven't really done a lot with prices per square foot, but that's sort of a good indication of where we are in the market. So thank you for that. In Henderson, okay, we see sellers not cutting asking prices and buyers not buying, pretty stagnant. Is it the same story in Cedar City? Well, I do think that that is part of the reason that our pendings went so low. We have seen sellers, we've seen about like maybe a 10 to 12% of our active market do a price reduction each week. That's kind of where we've been for the last few months. What I am seeing though is sellers are far more willing now to offer incentives to buyers. So maybe they're not willing to come off of their sales price a ton, but they're willing to pay closing costs. They're willing to buy down points. They're willing to maybe make some repairs that they hadn't been willing to do, in previous years. So as our market sort of goes into the first quarter of 2023, I do think you're going to see some price reductions, probably not a ton, just because of the level of inventory that we're at. But I do see some really great opportunities for buyers, maybe to get some help with buying down that interest rate, paying closing costs and things like that. So there's definitely some opportunity still in our market. I love it. Desert Train Guy and Disco Mutt having some YouTube love right there. That's awesome. What other questions do you guys have? How long have we been doing this? About 30 minutes? I'm going to give it another couple minutes and we'll probably wrap it up. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Okay. Other questions that I have had in the past. I've had some folks ask me about SUU, and SUU is so cool, you guys. SUU is a very, very cool institution. It is growing. When I graduated a long time ago from SUU with a degree in accounting, which I'm glad I have it. I'm glad I don't work in accounting. That was in 95, and they were just starting to do some master's programs. So is SUU a four-year school? It is, yes. They offer bachelor's degrees. They offer several schools with master's degrees, and they actually just started a PhD program in one of their schools. So lots of opportunity at SUU. And another thing that I want to make the point, SUU has a partnership with Southwest Tech. So if you go to Southwest Tech or SUU, your credits are going to transfer back and forth. That is very, very unique. So Southwest Tech is a trade school. You can learn to be a mechanic. You can learn to be a plumber. You can get a certification in construction management. So many great opportunities also at Southwest Tech that we are just so fortunate to have both of those great institutions here. You can start your healthcare career at Southwest Tech. My daughter actually got a CNA license when she was in high school, and that has served her very well. So lots of great opportunity between SUU and Southwest Tech. Courses for seniors. They do. They've got some really fun opportunities there. Now you can sign up as just a regular student and get all of those perks. SUU is really invested in the community. They stopped doing some of these programs during COVID just because it was COVID. But I'll tell you, some of the funnest things that I have been able to participate in SUU is they'll do community, they'll invite the community and do tours. So for example, their geology professor has done a few tours, and they load you on an SUU little bus and drive around, and you do these little hikes and learn about all of the cool geology and geography of the area. Fascinating, fascinating stuff. You can also attend their lecture series where they have the guest lectures come in once a month. You can just go and attend those anytime you want to. So really a great relationship between the community and SUU. Lots of great opportunity there. Thanks for that. That's awesome. Okay. If you guys don't have any more questions, we've been doing this for about 30 minutes. I am going to wrap it up. I am so glad that you guys are here. If this is fun, maybe we'll do it again. Maybe we'll do a quarterly update or quarterly live, something like that. So let me know what you guys think, if this was beneficial, if you got some good information and intel. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays. Have an amazing, amazing new year. I am Jennie Hendricks, and we'll see you soon.